Hello class, my name is Kyle Hug. I'm here today to talk to you about an issue that I think is vital that everybody should know, and that is water safety. According to the CDC, from 2005 till 2014, for a whole decade, there was recorded over 3,500 different fatalities that were not boat-related instances. According to the CDC, there was another 300 boat-related instances. So I would say that this is a very important issue to focus on, that everybody should know either how to act around water, either on a boat or not on a boat. According to the National Center for Health, also 80% of deaths due to drowning are all male. Also, the largest amount of children are from the ages 1 to 4 come from drowning. So what can we do about this? I would say the most important thing to do to prevent any kind of fatalities due to water is not to be stupid. Most men, I know, as a man, we are just dumb and think that we can do anything, and so we will go out and swim, as well as while swimming, think that we can fight any current that is trying to do an undertow and pull us out. Instead, you should swim parallel to the beachfront, and if you still cannot see this beach, what you should do is swim across the current. According to the Coast Guard, the most of the deaths that happen are not from a likely source of alcohol use, even though 1 in 5 deaths are from alcohol use from boating. The most common injury and occurrences of injury and death are actually a lack of failure on the part of just wearing everyday equipment that you're supposed to wear, such as life vests. According to the Coast Guard, over 4,100 people were injured due to some kind of boating accident, and of those, 3,600 were due to not wearing life vests. That is over 88% of all people that get injured due to boating is more due to the cause of their own stupidity of not wearing the proper protection of a life vest. So what are some ways that we can help prevent this ever from happening? Is don't drink and boat. That would help cut down on a lot of instances with the alcohol issue. But also, go and just take some life lessons of CPR from Red Cross, and also the Red Cross offers most places that have a pool with a lifeguard. They also will give you lessons on how to swim, such as taking your 1-year-old to 4-year-old. If we can get them to just learn how to swim and not panic while floating in water, that would also cut down on a lot of the issues of drowning. As a swimmer, if you're not panicking and you just float, if you just lay on your back and not move, you will actually float without doing anything else. This will cause, as children, the ability just to float, to breathe, and keep their head above water. By doing this, it will give more time for lifeguards to get into the water, as well as getting parents to get time to get to their children. Oh yes, one other big thing that will always help any situation to prevent any drownings is a little tip from Finding Nemo. Make sure you have a swimming buddy. Everybody must have a swimming buddy. If you have your swimming buddy, this will help you from having injuries or other fatalities, as someone else will be able to help watch you. Unless, of course, you're like me and my swimming buddy, and I decided to swim out past the buoys to see who could swim better. By doing this, we were not very smart, and it caused bodily harm to one of us. Another safety tip for everybody is if you are one of those people that decides to have a pool at your house, a good advice would be to get a cover on said pool. Not just like a solar cover that floats on the water, but one that will fit the whole pool and tighten down so it looks like it's nice and tight and can bounce a little on it. It's sort of like a trampoline top. So that way if anybody does get close to that said pool and they fall in, they will fall onto the cover and not fall into the water. You don't want it sagging so that way it touches any water, because if a child falls on it and there's water on it, they may panic, causing it to rip and cause them to fall into the water. And you don't want them to panic while floating on top of any plastic, because the plastic then would wrap around them and cause even more problems. But always have a cover on your pool and have a 4 to 6 foot fence around the pool. Most insurance companies will require this if you have a pool to have some kind of fencing to prevent any further injuries to anybody else and to help cut down the cost of insurance, so that way you don't get in trouble if a kid from the neighborhood decides to come over, see the pool, nobody's watching, and fall in. A great website to check out for more advice on water safety, especially pertaining to children, would be safekids.org/water safety. This gives you advice on how to help prevent any injuries to children, such as if you have a small kiddie pool, to make sure that after you get done with that kiddie pool, to dump out the water and to put the kiddie pool upside down. This website also advises people to take CPR lessons on infants and children, because infants and children have a different type of CPR than full-grown adults. As full-grown adults, it takes a lot more effort to get that heart beating again and the lungs pumping when doing CPR. It takes more force on the rib cage than you would use on a child. If you use the same force, you could do even more bodily harm than what you actually think that you're trying to do. You could break ribs. You could break ribs in both situations, but you could break ribs and cause the lungs to be punctured by putting too much pressure on the child. Once again, I think the most important things that we can do to help prevent water issues of drowning and boating incidences is do not use alcohol around water. For one, alcohol causes you to be impaired, and as I learned today in my military training class, if you're drinking out on a boat, you're more likely to dehydrate faster, causing you to be drunker quicker, and the sea or lake has a natural flow to it that will cause you to become more sick, and the glare off the water will also cause you to get distorted and causing you to be more impaired. Like I said before, the CDC says that 1 in 5 people of boating injuries are caused to just alcohol-related issues. Just like drinking and driving, drinking and boating is illegal, and it causes more deaths than it should in America. So once again, the best way to cause any prevention of this would first be to make sure you know how to swim, wear the proper protection around boats and out near the water, keep an eye on your children, and do not use drugs or alcohol. Thank you.